guys, welcome back to my channel, All Things Quita. And if you are new here, make sure that you go ahead and shoot down and hit that subscribe button for more content. Now, I know you are stressed out. Some of y'all are so overwhelmed and you just don't know where to start. It is okay. Breathe. That felt good, didn't it? I was once in your shoes, and you will find your way, just like I did. If this is the first time that you have clicked on my channel, go to the beginning and check out my What is Medical Coding video part 1, especially if you are struggling trying to figure out if you should get a CPC certification from the AAPC or a CCA certification from Ahima. There's also a part 2 to that video where I go deeper on the subject of medical coding and we talk about books and other subjects. As well as this one, the thumbnail says, "Goodbye CPC-A, hello CPC." In this video, I share my job hunt journey and why I chose a career in medical coding. After you have watched those videos, come back to this one to learn exactly why you may have an A attached to your CPC credential if you decide to get a CPC certification. Before we get on that subject, I have to address this first because it's extremely important. Please don't rush to purchase a training program until you have done extensive research to avoid buyer's remorse. Someone thought that in order to get training for the CPC certification, that their only option was to purchase the CPC training preparation course from the AAPC, and they purchased it. No, you do not have to purchase their training course. Yes, the AAPC created the CPC exam, but you do not have to go through them to train to prepare for their CPC exam. Some of you may feel it would be smart to purchase your training course directly from the AAPC, because who is better to teach you about medical coding than the people who created the actual exam? You may feel that it's a no-brainer, and I see why you are thinking that way. If you decide to purchase the AAPC's CPC preparation course, it is an online course. They designed the course to be completed in 4 months, but they will give you 6 months to complete the course from the date of purchase. The course is approximately 80 hours. It covers CPT, HCPCS, and ICD-10 coding. You can find all this information on this page, and the link is in the description. However, the AAPC also have approved instructors who were trained by the AAPC in their medical coding training curriculum. You can find this information on the AAPC website by using this link, and I've also listed it in the description box below. This is for the person who feel that they may learn better in a classroom environment. You can find those medical coding classes in the state that you live in. I don't know how the pandemic has affected those classes. Some may be online and some you may be able to actually attend in person in a classroom setting, but I really have no idea. If this is the route that you choose to take, click on your state and see what they're offering in your area. Now on to the apprentice topic. To sit for the CPC and COC exam for the AAPC, you do not need prior education or prior working experience. Your jaw probably just dropped. Matter of fact, if you are already a medical coding working professional without the CPC credential and you have substantial medical coding knowledge, you can register for their exam. If you don't have enough education or enough working experience, you will have an A on your certification. So when you are applying for jobs and they see that A attached to your certification, plainly is saying that you are new to the industry, that you don't have enough working experience or working knowledge. And when I say enough, look at it this way. So, like me, I got my A off my certification after having 2 years working as a medical coder. So say that I came into the industry and I only had 1 year of working as a medical coder, and I felt that I had enough knowledge and skills to pass that exam, and I sit for the CPC exam and I pass. Well, I'm going to have an A on that certification because on the AAPC website, it says that you have to have at least 2 years as working as a medical coder to have the A off your certification. But that's not the only requirement. There are other requirements that you can meet to get the A off your certification, and we're going to talk more about that later. So like I said, when you're applying for jobs and you have the A on your certification, it's saying that either you don't have any prior working experience, no prior education, or you just don't have enough, because you have to have a certain amount of it in order to have the A off of your certification. So some of you who have been following this channel from the beginning, you may be saying, wait, you never mentioned a COC. So we know that a CPC certification from the AAPC is a certified professional coder. We know that the CCA certification from Ahima is a certified coding associate certificate. Now, the COC certification is a certified outpatient coder certification. If you want to get a COC first, you absolutely can. When I came into the industry and when I was looking at those job postings, in my opinion, it seemed that the CPC certification was higher in demand. But that's in my opinion, and that's in my area. You may live in South Dakota, and when you're looking at your medical coding job postings, you may see that the CCA is more widely requested, or you may feel that they are equally requested. Okay, so let's just talk the AAPC. Now, when I was applying for medical coding jobs, I seen that the CPC seemed to be more requested over the COC, but I did see job postings that also had a COC as an acceptable credential to work for them. It really just all depends. So I'm not telling you to choose CPC, COC, or CCA from Ahima. This is 100% your choice. But that's how I made my determination to get a CPC. I do not recommend sitting for any exam for anyone who knows nothing about medical coding. I highly encourage that you get training first. A lot of you ask, which training course did I attend? Some of you assume that I attended the AAPC CPC preparation course. I did not. Matter of fact, I did not attend an extensive training course. I received some training, but not enough to not have the A on my certification. I did a 3-day boot camp. That's the reason when I passed the CPC exam, I had the apprentice designation on my certification. And I had the apprentice designation for 2 years because I came into the industry without enough knowledge and without prior working experience. And I did not purchase the Practical program from the AAPC. I am self-taught, and it was a lot of work and very difficult. Very difficult. My employer also knew about the 3-day boot camp that I attended, and it was not a problem for them, and it was a huge blessing. For a second, I know that I just told you earlier to look at job postings. I don't want you to wait until you sit for the exam and you start looking for a job, and then you start looking at job postings. The time is now, so you can kind of see what's out there, what they are wanting, what type of certifications that they want you to have, and what they are requesting as far as prior knowledge. You will see on some job postings, like I did, that some employers will want you to present proof that you attended an 80-hour medical coding program and will want to see the certificate of completion. That's some employers. I've even seen some job postings requesting proof that you took an anatomy and medical terminology course. Just look for some job postings and see what you come across, and you may see what I'm talking about. So as mentioned earlier, I had the apprentice designation for 2 years, but that's because I simply did not want to pay for the Practical program. If I would have purchased and completed the Practical curriculum and got my 1 year of working experience, then I would have been able to get the A removed off of my certification sooner. So what we're about to do right now, let's just go to the AAPC website about the apprentice information to go into deeper detail. We're just going to go through the information together. Okay, I'm looking down because right now we're looking at the Apprentice Removal on the Job Experience page on the AAPC website. So it says, say goodbye to your A. To remove your apprentice designation via on-the-job experience, you must obtain and submit 2 letters of recommendation verifying at least 2 years of on-the-job experience. Externships accepted using the CPT, ICD-10-CM, or HCPCS Level 2 code set. So that's what I did. In a previous video that I have, you hear me say that I got my A off of my certification after 2 years because that was a requirement with the AAPC. So, and you also know that I only code using the ICD-10-CM book. So it says CPT, ICD-10-CM, or HCPCS Level 2 code sets. So therefore, I qualified to get the A off my certification in 2 years. So this is what I had to do. It says 1 letter must be on your letterhead from your employer. The other may be from a coworker. So that's exactly what I had done. It says experience includes time coding for a previous employer and prior to certification. Both letters are required to be signed and will need to outline your coding experience and amount of time in that capacity. And you can download their Apprentice Removal template for easier submission. Letterhead and signatures are still required when using this template. It says, or submit proof showing completion of at least 80 contact hours of coding preparation course, not CEUs. And 1 letter on letterhead signed from your employer verifying 1 year of on-the-job experience. Externships accepted using the CPT, ICD-10-CM, or HCPCS Level 2 code sets. Send proof of education in the form of a letter from an instructor on school letterhead stating you have completed 80 or more contact hours. That's why I kept saying enough education. You have to have enough education. So it says a certification diploma stating at least 80 contact hours or an unofficial transcript. Proof of education or experience isn't necessary to sit for the exam. Like I said earlier in regards to the CPC and COC certifications. It should only be submitted via fax or scanned attached to an email once all apprentice removal requirements have been met. And it says, please allow 2 to 4 weeks for processing. So there's an asterisk here. It says employers can only verify time spent coding with their organization. Proof of experience letters may be from previous employers, current employers, or a combination of both. So right here, CPC-A's say goodbye to your apprentice status. Practical gives you the real world experience you need to remove your A so you can get the job you want. The Practical CPC-A Practicum is now another way to earn 1 year of coding experience toward the removal of your A. Sign up for Practical today and gain hands-on experience. So now you know exactly what an apprentice designation is. You know the requirements to not have the A on your certification, and now you know how to get the A off your certification. So before we go, there is also another page on the AAPC website that I feel that would be beneficial to you, and I'm going to leave the link in the description box below. It says how to get CPC certified. I want you to look at step 3 where it says verify your experience. So it talks more about the CPC-A designations. And it says to receive a CPC designation, you must have at least 2 years medical coding experience. If you do not submit proof of the required on-the-job experience, you will receive a CPC apprentice designation. So this is a good page for you to get acquainted with. I truly hope that this information was beneficial to you and that it cleared up any confusion that you may have had about the apprentice designation. So I want to provide an update about the Ccs certification. So in one of my most recent videos about medical coding, I talked about I think it was in a video about me talking about the giveaway. In that video, I talked about that I wanted to get a new certification and that I wanted to get a CCS from Ahima this year. So yes, about 2 days ago, I purchased the program to train for the CCS certification. I have already ordered my books and I start training next month. I ordered my CPT book. There it is right there. I ordered my ICD-10 PCS an ICD-10 hospital book from Carol Buck. I went with Carol Buck for those books. So yes, I will be taking you all on a journey with me. I asked you guys, was you interested in me documenting my journey of me training and getting prepared for the Ccs certification? Because I don't see any videos on YouTube about it. So yes, I will be documenting that journey. I'm so excited to take you guys with me. So yes, I'm going to train for it and get certified this year. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to speak, good things into existence. And yes, I will be a certified coding specialist this year. So I do want to say this to people who are on their journey to getting certified, whether you're getting a CPC, a COC, or a CCA. It will be a good idea if you're interested, because YouTube is not for everybody, but I think it would be a pretty cool idea for you to document your journey on YouTube. And if you start a YouTube channel about your journey in medical coding, please post it in this video and I'll subscribe to your channel. I'll be your first subscriber, because there's not a lot of content on YouTube about medical coding. I also got a comment on my very first medical coding video, A Day in the Life of a Medical Coder, and somebody left a comment and they were like, I missed the medical coding part. They said something like that. Any company that you work for, there's a level of protection that you're supposed to have for the people you work for. And 9 times out of 10, it's most likely in your employee handbook that you are not supposed to show the actual work that you do, because you could be releasing patient data and you could also be releasing information to your employer's competitors. That's extremely serious. I'm sorry, I am not about to put my job in jeopardy. There's just no way that I'm going to do that. I cannot show the actual charts that I work on every day. I can't even if I redact the information and not show vital information, I will be showing the way that my employer has their system set up for their competitors to see and copy. I know some of you have heard of like someone who worked for Chick-fil-A or something. They revealed how they make their special sauce, and that person got fired. That's with any job. You're supposed to have a certain type of protection for where you work at. Like, it's not just medical coding, it's for anything. It's for accounting, it's for fast food, it's for retail. So that's what I'm doing for my job. There's just no way that I'm going to do that. I will be in violation of HIPAA, I will be in violation of the people that I work for, and I will be in violation of our actual clients. There's just no way that I can do that. I am not about to put my job in jeopardy. So not once will you ever see a chart rolling across this monitor, these monitors. You're not going to see that. I'm not going to dare do that. Will there be some coding on this channel in the future? That is possible. But I also want to reiterate that this is not a medical coding channel. I talk about medical coding on here, but that's not the only thing that I'm going to cover on this channel. There are other things that I want to document in my life, like my weight loss journey. And keep in mind, the channel name is All Things Quita. So it does not say All Things Coding. So I am more than medical coding. So I really hope that y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.